All right, what's up? This is my first video here on YouTube, and not that. So here's my first video here on YouTube, and there's no better time to start this YouTube channel except to document the worst day I had thus far in trading. And it happened at this morning pre-market on this stock, SKT, on March 4th, 2021. And so what happened was it was coming down to this support level here or this resistance level here that broke. I was thinking, hold up, let me fix some shit here. Okay. And all right. So what happened was the price was coming down here. Well, first of all, I spotted it right around here at 720 at $22, and I thought it was going to pull back more, so I went to go eat some breakfast, came back, and it was topping out here at 25 bucks. I was waiting for a pullback and then for like kind of a bounce, for the first bounce. I think I got in for the first bounce off of VWAP here at 23, and then sold on this small pop here, and then it pulled back. I started scaling in on this level down here on $22 because of this resistance level. I thought it was going to bounce, and so I started scaling in. Actually, at about maybe a little bit more of a size than I would usually take, because I am trying to size up my trading strategy to make some more money, and it didn't bounce. And so because I didn't want to take a loss, it kept coming down. I was holding it, and I was like, just started scaling in heavier, 30 shares, 40 shares, 50 shares. Usually I only take like 10 shares at a time because I'm still kind of developing my strategy and learning, getting more experience with the stock market, and scaling in. I thought it was going to bounce off of this support here that it bounced off before at 730. Did not bounce, broke down. I was scaling out. I was probably in like a third of my account already down here, and it bounced up, and I was like, well, it's got to go a little farther. I'm not going to take it off just yet. I know it has a little bit more, and I knew I had like my average was at this point like 22.50, and I didn't feel comfortable taking this loss here, so it came back down. I was like, oh shit, like this is just not going to bounce. It has to bounce. And then once I started thinking it has to bounce, I just started buying fucking 10 more shares, 20 more shares, and it just kept fucking coming down, and then it just stalled out down here, and I was like, okay, this is the bottom. Let me just add in a couple more shares, bring my average down. This is pretty much how every fucking story goes with people who take big losses, is they just, oh, it has to do this, and like, oh, it has to bounce, so let's just fucking just scale in a half of my account because I just want to make big money. And you know what? Guess what happens? It didn't bounce. It kept going down, and at this point right here, well, no, I actually held through this, and I was at this point, I was down like 150 bucks, which is the biggest loss so far that I've been down. And then it comes back up, and right here I was like, I checked my P&L, I was only down like $49. I could have just taken the loss and fucking made it back in like 2 days. And of course I was thinking, oh well, this definitely has to bounce. Like, let's just scale out for a second. Like it has this big ass move, $6, comes all the way back down. I'm like, okay, this like physics, if it's like the ball goes up so high and it comes back down and hits the ground, it's got to at least bounce like a third or a fifth of the way back up. And like, I'm just like thinking here, this is barely a bounce. This is not the bounce. And so I was waiting for a bigger bounce. So it comes back here. I'm like, oh, look, higher or low. It's going to go higher. and it goes up a little bit higher, and then it fucking retests the support level and then breaks down. And then at this point right here, I'm like, oh, fuck it, I got to cut it. I have to cut it because at this point I'm down $150, the biggest loss I'm taking so far in my trading career. And I'm like, this point, forget it. I can't do it anymore. I cannot stomach any more losses. And of course, naturally, because this is what happens every fucking time, it breaks down, recovers, reclaims the level. At this point, I'm out on the street taking a walk because I can't even just like fathom that I just took a $150 loss in one trade, and the biggest loss of my career thus far. And of course, and I come back and it's fucking at $22.44, and my average was like $21.60. So I could have got out for like a profit, and I would have been fucking like, whew. But of course, didn't happen like that. And then I let it fade back down. I didn't want to even touch this thing because of how bad it fucked me. And then at the open, I think I got a nice like couple bucks because I didn't want to scale in too much because I fucking lost so much money. But at the open, it opened up. The first candle pulled back. It was testing the longs here on the downside, and it quickly recovered to the price that it opened at and started pushing higher, and that's where I bought up, and I knew it was gonna do a little squeeze out on the shorts, on the weak short sellers, and we got a nice rally up in here. And I sold up in here, testing the next resistance level of the VWAP, and then I think I bought like up here for the break of VWAP at 935, and then I like sold up in here real quick, but I only made like fucking like $6 or $7, like nowhere near recovering what I lost. And so the rest of the day just came back down, and I said forget about it, like it's done. I didn't. So I ended with let's see, $142. I was like down $150, made some back on SKT, and then like there's no other moves at all. I think on SLGG, I'll look up SLGG. Let's see when I traded this SLGG. Yeah, I have a lot of orders. Yeah, look at this shit. Look at fucking 8 o'clock. I'm buying, and it's like 8:35, and I'm still buying, and I'm a scalper. Like, this should not happen. And then I sell 20 minutes later all of those fucking shares. Oh, fuck, and then I fucking add in another 100 shares because at this point, I'm so stressed. And I'm like, oh, I have to make it back. And of course, it flushes, and I sell this shit at a fucking $50 loss. I think that was at 8.55. So let's look at that. Yeah, I totally forgot about this. Yeah, so hold up. What happened here? Oh, yeah. I sold right here at 8.53 my 63 shares for like a $99 loss at this point. And then I see this one green candle. You see this one green candle? That was enough for me to fucking buy 100 fucking shares, another third of my portfolio. And I'm like, oh, this is it. This is the bottom. Everybody's covering. And it was just like a little pop of volume here, you can see. But of course, it's a trap. And look, it flushes down from 20.60 down to fucking $19.80. And I take a nice fat loss for that, and it turns into a $150 loss. That's how that happened. And I don't know how many times it's going to take for me to learn this lesson. I've done this many times before. But this is the biggest loss I've had just because I was just in denial. I had this belief in my head that it had to bounce. Like, look at it. It's been down how many fucking candles in a row? Let's look at the 5-minute chart. It's been down how many candles in a row? I'm like, it has to bounce. I've never seen this before of just going down so far without bouncing. I'm like, it has to bounce. And it didn't. It bounced, but I couldn't stomach this last little pullback. I couldn't do it. I was way beyond my risk level, and I couldn't take more losses. The loss I have right now at the end of the day was 142. The recoverable loss, it'll take me about like a week and a half to make back if I'm being consistent with what I've been making in the past 2 months. But I guess the lesson here is that that I am a scalper and not a position trader, and trading like this is not a scalping strategy. A scalping strategy would be, let's say I do get in where I was getting in here, $22.35. A normal scalper with their strategy, they're cutting their loss here at 21.99 when it shows that it's not holding the $22 mark. They're cutting the loss and they're waiting for another entry. But I didn't. I decided to buy in because I was in denial. I was thinking that it had to fucking bounce. And it fucking did bounce, but not at the point that I wanted it to. And that's what usually happens. My first lesson is to cut losses quickly because I'm a scalper. I'm not somebody who's going to hold through this whole fucking downturn and then wait for it to rip back up. I just can't do it. I cannot stomach it. So as a scalper, what I should be waiting for is that reversal confirmation. And let's say I fall. This kind of looks like a reversal confirmation. It broke down to support level and reclaimed this level. So naturally, my strategy would be to buy kind of in this area right here, like 2070. And maybe I sell like my first portion over here at 21, but then it flushes. Okay, cut my loss right here, right when it retests this support level. Here, this support level, I would have seen here. Let me draw this. See, it would have been retesting a support level and would have been showing weakness on, and so I should have cut losses on there if I bought here, which would still only be a very small loss. And that is what I can deal with. But then, with my strategy, I would see this. It broke down again, this support level, but then reclaimed the level. And that's another entry point for me. And so I would enter right here for this test here. Price probably got caught right up in here to test this level. I would add my second portion, and then I would be taking it out up here for the test of this resistance level, or VWAP. I would have rather taken a trade here, take a loss, a trade here, take a loss, a trade here, and a trade here, take a loss, and takes one portion as a win, take some as a loss, add in here again, and then finally right here I would have got the winner, and I probably still would have had a green day if I would have done that because I am a fucking scalper. I'm not a position trader. I'm not going to be buying here and holding this whole downturn. It's just not what I do. I don't know. That's just, I guess, my personality with trading. That's just how I've developed with how I've taken my lessons. That's just the strategy that I've been implementing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think having an outlet for me to explain to myself these losses or my mistakes, that it will help me, because bottling up these emotions from trading doesn't feel good. So that's why I am posting this video about just the lessons I'm learning during my trading career. So far I've been trading. I started trading in March when the market crashed, but I also blew up my first account in 2016 and like a $2,000 account. Didn't last very long. I bought Sun Edison and held it all the way to the bottom and blew up my account because I don't know. And then so I started trading again in March 2020, and I've been actually doing quite well recently. I guess I will pull up Yeah, so I'll pull up my TraderView stats. Here's my TraderView stats. So I started like seriously day trading. Before, like I would be kind of swing trading, and I would like once a stock turned against me, I would hold it for months, and I would just be a bag holder. That's what happened on XSPA. I bought like 2,500 shares at $1, sold it at like $8, and then bought it again at $5 and held it all the way down to like $1.20. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta just stick to trading, and instead of just like being a bag holder. And I finally sold it for a giant fucking fat loss. And that's when in October, when I sold it for a fat loss. Hold up. In October, I sold it for a fat loss, and that's when I started. I have to learn how to trade. Like, I don't hold any positions overnight. I'm a scalper. I'm not gonna hold a fucking position for months and be a goddamn bag holder and then sell it for a fat loss when the money makers fucking push it down all the way beyond the point of people's comfort zones to where they sell as a loss, and they fucking turn it around and rip it all the way up and sell as a profit. And after they squeeze out the shorts, I'm not going to be part of that anymore. So now I'm sticking to scalping and my strategy that has been working for me, and this is my results so far. So you can see in October, this was in October, pretty much just going sideways. I was just doing small size, didn't want to trade big size because I knew I didn't really have a developed strategy, and I knew I was just going to be like all over the place. So I kept with like maybe 1, 2 shares, 5 shares, 10 shares at a time. And then I started to like come up a little bit, and I started to maybe like push my share size a little bit, and I started trading like the momentum. I knew I liked the momentum and buying the dips on small cap momentum stocks with low floats and a news catalyst and a high relative volume. And that strategy started bringing in some money. I was up maybe like $200 in profit. Had a nice loss here. And actually, that loss is from this exact same mistake that I made today. I did not learn my lesson today. I didn't learn my lesson. I fell back into old ways, and from this fucking stock. So, yeah, I'm going to learn my lesson. I'm learning it the hard way. Maybe today will be the last time I make this mistake. But I came back actually kind of relatively quickly. Gave it like 2 weeks, back in the green. And then that's when I had my first $100 day right here, 262 to 366. I had a $104 day trading, I think, AUVI. That was a great stock. I remember that was a great day. And then from there, I was just kind of like grinding up and having like consistent $20, $30, $15 days with very small red days. You can see right here, $50. Here's $23. My red day was like minus. My red day was at minus 17 here, minus 7, minus 15, but my green days were way bigger. There's 104, 21, 52 there, 15, 32, 25. And then, of course, here, 142. That's just... one day I'm going to look back on this, and I'm going to be like, wow. Like... I'm actually kind of proud of this right here. Like, I recovered this and then just started ripping up. That's a great reclaim here. And I would have bought right here, and I sold up here. So, I mean, this is kind of a healthy dip. Right here is where you want to buy. Right here is you want to buy for the break at the new high, because this is a momentum stock here. I got some momentum going upwards. So you want to buy here. And then hopefully tomorrow I will be somewhere up here, and then kind of slowly inching my way to the top. And then let's see if we can rip through 600, baby. Let's do it. So, yeah. So far, I'm just going to have to stick with my... I'm going to stick with what I've been doing well. And when I'm ready to scale up, then I can start scaling up. And I'll just gradually increase my share size, which is actually the hardest thing I've done since trying to figure out a strategy. So before today, these numbers, average winning trade, average losing trade, it was like my average winner was $4.48, my average loser was like $4.02. But because of the $100 day, it kind of fucked it up. Total gain and loss, yeah, fuck. Yeah, but like, see, I'm a scalper, so like this was actually like the other day was 4 cents. Now it's down to 1 cent. Yeah, but yeah, I'm a scalper. 61-38 win-loss ratio. That's more of like a scalper's win-loss. I tend to see that people who are like position traders will have maybe like a 50-50 win ratio, or even like a 45 win to a 55 lose, but their winners will be way bigger, like way fucking bigger than their losers. But that's just not how I am. That's just not how I've developed. Yeah, so here's my by month. Yeah, so January 24, then 318 in February. That's actually pretty damn good from $24. But here in March I'm red, so I'm gonna have to slowly recover that. Just can't make that mistake again. So yeah, that's just all I wanted to share, I guess. I just wanted to like review my day, just because. What the fuck is this? Because today was just a stressful fucking day. Look at this stock. Like, is it gonna fucking bounce? When the fuck is it gonna bounce? I've been holding it for fucking hours, and it's just couldn't cut the loss. Well, that's I guess all I wanted to share today, and hope you guys. I guess I have no idea. I don't know. I don't even know why I'm making this. I just need to get this off my chest. If anyone fucking sees this, I don't care. Yeah, but peace. Catch you guys later. Hopefully, maybe I'll make another video at some point. I don't even know. All right, bye-bye.